Looks like it's 9:30, so I will get started. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's so nice to see you all speaking up in the chat already. Thank you. I am Ariel Naftali. I am a purpose coach. I live in Denver, Colorado. And as a purpose coach, I should probably tell you what my purpose is. And my purpose in life currently is to inspire others to step into their authentic self-expression so they can share their creative gifts with the world and make a positive impact. So that's kind of the foundation that undergirds all the work that I do. Oh my God, hi Kendra, yes! Let's connect after for sure. I'll put my email in here at the end for people to reach me if you'd like. So my understanding of purpose is that it's really simple. It's being who you are at your core. And that happens both through your essence and through your intentional expression. So when I say your essence, I mean that you have a unique, weird way about you that no one else has. Your energy, your mannerisms, the way you talk, your weird and funny quirks, these are all part of your essence, how other people experience you. And when you fully embrace them and embody them, people are magnetized to that. And sometimes these are parts of ourselves that we don't think are anything special or we want to hide because we think they're, not the norm. But these are like what make us so special and so magnetizing. And so my question for you is, how can you more your natural essence and expression? These things are your X factors. And this is part of your purpose. And the second piece is then the intentional expression of who you are. So how do you choose to share your creative gifts with the world? And of course, you need to know what your creative gifts are in order to share them. So I will get to that in a moment here. Hi. Oh, hi from Boulder. Hi, Alicia. Oh my God, I want to go to Switzerland so badly. Hi, Carla. So when you are fully aligned with your purpose, you also radiate your personal brand. It's not so much something you go out of your way to choose, but something that evolves as you evolve. And so I think about 3 core pieces of your purpose that you must know to live and work in authentic alignment. And the first part of that is, what are you naturally good at? This is something we maybe don't give enough credit to, but you are given innate talents for a reason to use them, and you're the only one who can do things exactly the way you do them. So my question for you all is, what are you naturally good at, and how are or aren't you using this in your current role in your life? So I will share first to get the ball rolling, and then I'd love to hear all of your thoughts in the chat box. So one of the things I am naturally good at is making people feel safe and comfortable, which allows them to step more freely into their authentic expression without fear of judgment or rejection or anything like that. And so as you can see, that's largely part of my purpose through my work. So I would love to hear from you all. What are some of the things that you feel like you're naturally good at, and how are or aren't you embodying that in your work right now? Yeah, Carrie, finding commonalities in myself with other people. Yeah, and I'm sure that helps build rapport too, getting to see how you align. Belinda, you help people feel validated. It's beautiful. Thank you all for sharing. I'll give maybe another minute for you all to share. Good at reminding people of their strengths. Yeah, Brianna, so important. Demon Diamonds, let me know if I'm messing up your name pronunciation. Analyzing. Yes. Oh, I am not good at analyzing, so need people like you. Oh, thank you all. Carla, good at helping others. Lisa, a good enabler in a positive way. Okay, yeah, like empowering someone to step into their potential. I love that. Good at convincing people. Persuasion, influencing. We'll get to that in a little bit. I use my voice when others can't, won't. Speaking up for others. Good at motivating. Yes. Advising, problem solving, complimenting. Oh, and this is like the beauty of it too, is like we are all good at different things. And that's why we need to own them and be able to work together and bring those diverse elements into the space. Alicia, good at finding tech solutions, helping people with their tech problems. Alicia, I need you. It took me a really long time to figure out this platform. Thank you all. Yes, motivating people to speak up and be their authentic self. Maggie, yes. Okay, thank you all. Feel free to keep sharing, and I will get to the next piece. So, the first part of purpose is what are you naturally good at? And the second piece is what are you curious about? Our curiosities are breadcrumbs toward the next expression of our purpose. And often we kind of write off our curiosities as just like something we do to fill the time, like what do we listen to podcasts about, or what do we read about, or write it off as like a hobby. But really, like there's a reason that we're curious or interested in something that other people are not. And when we start leaning into that, we start feeling more aligned with our purpose. And I think that the whole notion of having a passion can be intimidating or overwhelming because we don't necessarily know what our passion is until we start spending time with something. And so what I like to say is to follow your curiosity more so than pursue your passion. Because when you follow what you're curious about, then you get to really dive deep into something and develop a love or a passion around it when you spend time with it. So the second piece of what are you curious about or what are you interested in? I want to hear from you all, and I will start again to get the ball rolling. I'm curious about human psychology and spirituality and understanding the human experience on a really deep level. And this is kind of what makes me so excited to coach and work with people every single day, is leaning into that interest and that curiosity that now I have such a passion for. So if you all could take a moment and share, what do you have curiosity about? Or if it's developed into a passion, I would love to hear as well. Future of work, Anna. Lisa, curious about way too many things. Yeah, and sometimes that can be challenging, right? Because it's like option paralysis. There's so many things that we just like sit back and we don't know what to choose. And so what I would say when that's the case of what's happening is just pick one thing to focus on for a period of time. It can even be a small period of time, and don't let that mean that you're closing the door to everything else. But our human minds can only handle so many things at once. And so when we are able to, choose a lane and go with that for a period of time and then like experiment with it. Is this resonating? Is this not resonating? Doesn't mean you're shutting the door to all those other things that you're interested in. Technology, real estate, marketing, finance, and solving problems. Sounds like we've got a lot of interest here. Curious about what inspires people to go out in the world and do good. That's an interesting question. Belinda, I like that. I'd love to know from you, do you feel that inspiration too? What makes people tick, Karina? Ooh, I like this one. I'm gonna get to this in my next point. Curious about our place in the universe and what we can do to leave a meaningful and lasting impression. Yeah, that's what this is all about. Oh, you all are in the right talk. Lisa, I want to see it. Can you send a picture in the chat room? I don't know if that's a function that it allows. What triggers people? Curious about this cryptocurrency craze. I cannot listen to the cryptocurrency craze anymore. Belinda, definitely. I just feel that I'm not doing enough and can't achieve it alone. Hmm. Well, I think a big part of this is that we all get to make a very small imprint on the world, and collectively that adds to a larger impact. But none of us can save the world on our own. And, so my question for you is, how are you doing your small part? How are you utilizing what you're uniquely good at? How are you stepping into what you're curious about? Where are you noticing the small wins in your day-to-day life versus feeling like it needs to be this like big macro impact? Januska. Oh, I feel like I'm butchering all of your names. I'm sorry. Please correct me if so. Curious about human interactions, different cultures, history, technology, music. The interaction between interests and using them for good. Yeah. Curious about myself as to how much I can push myself to achieve my goals. There's only one way to find out. Interior architecture and sustainable reuse to improve the home life of underprivileged home graphics. Demographics? I don't know if I know what that is. Demographics. Okay, I see. Okay. Thank you all. Oh, you're the best. Okay, I'm gonna get to my last point, and then I'll leave some time for more questions and interaction too. So the third piece, first is what you're naturally good at. Second, what you're curious about. Third piece, and what many of you kind of already mentioned in the chat, is what impact do you want to have on others and on the world? And this doesn't, again, need to be like, I want to solve global warming on my own. It can be as niche as I want to help people manage their relationship with technology. But what is it that you actually care about? What is it that actually draws you in? And often the experiences in our life shape what we value and what we care about. And so I call this your external why. And I'll explain why in a moment, that it's the external piece. But often this can be something that frustrates us too, like what it is we care about. So for instance, it really bothers me when people are inauthentic and not trying to realize their full potential. Like whenever I would notice the people in my life kind of just sitting back and getting complacent, it really like bothered me. And obviously you can see how that's transferred over into me really wanting to help people step into their authentic self-expression. So if you haven't already, I'd love to hear in the chat, what is something you care about or something that really frustrates you? And maybe see if you can translate that into the kind of impact or the influence you would want to have on others. Alicia, I want to help people in organizations who are doing good for the world with their tech needs. Alicia, we need to have a conversation after this. The fact that people know better, but they don't do better. Mansplaining. Yeah, seriously, really good points from everyone. I care about bringing out the best in others. In doing that, I realize that. Yeah. Misusing technology, so big. Ethical and socially responsible technologies and how to use them to do good and how to fight bias and injustice. Look at you all. You have such badass big dreams. I love this so much. Frustrates me when people don't take the initiative to solve their problems and not reach their potential. Yeah, me too. Thank you all for sharing. Yes, Lisa. Forgetting to check yourself when checking others. Yeah, it's much easier to share our opinions about others and rather than have our deep internal reflection on how we could be doing better. Okay, I'll get to my last point here and then would love to open up the floor for any additional questions. So I wanted to specify here that there's a difference between your external why and your internal why. So I think of your external why as like, what's the impact or the influence you want to have on others? Whereas your internal why is, what do you personally want out of your work experience and out of your personal life even too? So I know for me, I want personal fulfillment. I want connection. I want flexibility. I want financial freedom. These are all my personal reasons separated from the impact that I want my work to have. And it's important to know both, because when we get frustrated by something going on in our work life, it's often because an internal why is being challenged, right? Like someone decides not to work with me and that impacts my ego and how I perceive myself and what's going on. And then I'm not feeling fulfilled in that moment. And I can go down such a rabbit hole with that. But then when I get to step out and connect back to my external why, which is, okay, wait, I'm helping people step into their authentic self-expression and connect to their purpose. I still have a bunch of people I'm helping that with, and there's a bunch of people that I haven't met yet that I know I'm going to help people with. And so when I root back into that external why, it really helps like emotionally detach from the situation, and I get to be resilient through the process of that. So the very last point that I want to make here is, I know it's become kind of trendy to talk about work-life balance, like something that everyone wants. And what I really think it is that people want work-life purpose. Like we want to feel engaged and purposeful and feel like both our work life and our personal life are meaningful. So it's not necessarily about this equal separation of time, but we want to feel engaged in both spaces. I want to feel present and excited and fulfilled, both in the way I'm contributing to the world in a professional way and when I'm home with my family or whoever I spend time with on a personal level. And so my question is, how are we intentionally showing up in our personal and professional lives? Are we present for both, and are we being our authentic selves in both spaces? And I think like when we ask ourselves that question and genuinely reflect on it, we can come up with some good ideas of how we can start stepping more purposefully into both spaces and not feeling like our personal life needs to be an escape, but both get to fuel each other because we're engaged in both. So Simone, can we change that to life-work balance? Switch it up. What do you mean by that? Like say life-work instead of work-life? Oh, yes. Yes. I like that. Okay. Any questions? I know we have 2 minutes left here, so any questions for you all? And I'll read through the chat box now. Alicia, what do I want to have personally? Puzzles to solve, feeling like I'm doing good in the world, feeling like I'm helping people. Yeah. And feel free to share like your internal versus external why, if that's something that's calling out to you right now too. Graciela, focusing on our own why while letting go of judgment of others is important. Yeah. Our own why can be independent of expectations of how others should be responding to us. If we are authentic, we will impact others. Exactly, not everyone. I love that point. Not everyone is going to love us when we step into our authentic selves, and that's okay. And that's actually the point. Because the right people will come into our space. The right people are magnetized to us when we're being our authentic selves. Oh, that's okay. The internal why is your personal reasons for why you do what you do in your work and in your personal life. So as a coach, one of my internal whys is flexibility or financial freedom. And this is separate from my impact. And I want to get clear on, well, why am I personally doing this? Like, what do I get from it? And also, what do I get to give to others? And that's the external. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, good. How can we learn more about your work and get more involved in uncovering our purpose? Thanks, Alexa, here. I will put my email in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me at any point in time, and I would love to tell you how I can further support you in any way. Thanks, Naja. What if things don't work or have an impact the way you would like? I want to know more about that question. Thank you so much, Aaron. Yes, I agree. 20 minutes is definitely not enough. So much more to dig into here. Please feel free to email me and I'd be happy to continue the conversation outside of this. Website, is this still going? I don't know how it works. I'll put my website in here. It's performwithpurpose.org. And my LinkedIn is Ariel Naftali. Thank you all. Yay, you're all the best. Thank you. Thank you all. Alicia, let's definitely connect. Thanks, Alexa. Hello. How's it going?
How's it going?
Are you just hopping in?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I knew this was at the end.
Yeah, it only went to 9:50. I don't know how it works from here, but I think I recorded it.
And what you said, what I caught was amazing. So keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thanks, Heather. Where are you coming from?
From Utah.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Utah is beautiful. We're not too far away from each other.
Where are you coming from?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love Colorado.
Yes.
Yay.
Both places.
Yes.
Andy says, hey, Heather, I'm in Colorado too.
Yes. Hi.
How long do these things go for? If anyone has any questions. Okay. All right, I will end this for everyone. Clearly, I need help on the technology piece. Thank you guys all for coming. This has been really special. Goodbye.